What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's having a great day. We're going to be looking at some Chimera because let's be honest, if you want to keep up, you got to be doing Chimera now. I know it's a bit annoying trying to keep up with everything that we have to do now. All of the various clashes and just CVCs, all the clan stuff is I'm not going to say it's a lot, but it's a lot because people are still dropping like flies consistently, and that's never a good sign. But I'm keeping up, and I'm gonna show you guys the comp that I have been working, on for I guess since Chimera started. I've been running this comp, and hopefully it'll help you out a bit. But first, this video is sponsored by Marvel Strike Force. You can download the game using the link in my description, as well as scanning the QR code on the screen, and you're gonna get some free characters. The Liberty team is coming to the game, so you have the opportunity to get Peggy Carter, Falcon, Patriot, and Captain America Sam. These are gonna be limited time characters, so you're gonna want to download immediately so you do not miss out. Marvel Strike Force is a dynamic squad-based RPG that really brings the Marvel universe to life. Players can assemble powerful teams of heroes as well as villains to battle iconic enemies in epic combat with endless team combinations and strategies. You can literally never get bored with this game because there's that much to do. Tons of campaign, there's blitz, they have arena, real time, as well as like classic, there's alliance war, so there's a lot to do to earn rewards and collect all the characters that they have because there's a lot of them. Visually, the game is stunning. Really enjoy the UI in this game. It really has a Iron Man's desktop feel to it. Probably my favorite feature is 100% the auto win feature because you could easily go in, use some of your stamina to go ahead and just auto battle anything that you've completed already. Now is absolutely the best time to start because you get a free promo code SAM to get a copy of Captain America Sam and help you to get started. So use the link in my description as well as the QR code on the screen to get going today. So the comp is pretty simple, and this is how it pretty much goes. I'm not going to show you guys a whole run, but I'll just show you a bit of the action pre-recorded. We have Harima in there helping us out with raw damage. She's also bringing decreased attack for us. Excellent choice for DPS for Chimera because she scales her damage up so much. You could get it up to an extra 100% defense for her. And she only needs to use her A2, I believe it's 7 times to crank that up to 100. So very, very nice. Similar to Alaz that a lot of people were favoring just because he gets a lot of trials done, but he also increases his defense when he counterattacks, which could be take a few more turns than it will for Harima, but he does bring more trials. We're using Raka in there as our reviver, our buffer. She's healing us. She's doing a ton of stuff for us. Marius, of course, because he's an easy shoe-in in there. Like, if you're not using Marius, maybe you're using Toshiro, or you just don't have either of those guys, but probably going to be your best bet as far as like overall damage. Lydia in there providing us with debuffs, providing us with increased speed as well. She's going to help us get a ton of trials done. And Gwendolyn the Silent, oh my god, she is like my favorite champion for Chimera because she does so much. It doesn't seem like a ton, but she's doing so much for us, providing debuffs, providing us with increased duration on those debuffs as well, so we don't have to worry about any debuffs dropping off the boss at any point in time. Increased accuracy is huge. She takes a ton of extra turns, so if you do build her with some damage, she can provide you with at least a few Giant Slayer procs here and there. That's going to help you out a ton as well. So that is the team. I know a lot of people aren't going to have all of these champions. Well, a good bit of people might, but if you don't, it is okay. There are alternatives. In place of Raka, you could use a Elva, right? You could bring in, if you have Galathier, he's a solid option as well there. I've seen people using Sulfurion in there as well for revive, for HP burn, for shield. Actually a very strong choice as well. If you don't have Gwendolyn the Silent, you could bring in someone like Ramontu to help you out. You could bring in, there's honestly way better options. Necmo, well, I won't say way better, but Necmo is also a very strong option that I don't have on my account, but Necmo is a favorite amongst people, so you could bring him in there as well. If you don't want to use Lydia, you're gonna have to have a DPS or someone else that can provide you with decreased defense because you just need it to get damage up. Like I couldn't imagine doing a Chimera run and not having decreased defense. Another solid option to bring in that'll kind of uh clear a few ticks off the list is Farrakhan the Fat, who, yeah, I've not got around to trying to build him for this yet, but he's gonna help you get a load of trials done. He has decreased defense on the A1, HP burn and poisons, ally attack, gives you the buffs there you need for the ram trials, which are honestly the most important trials, just for the simple fact that, like, you want to get trials done as fast as possible. Like within the first 30 turns, you want to be able to get all of the trials done that your comp can do. That way, for the remaining turns, you can have all of the multiplier from the trials be going to your score after that. If you're still trying to get your trials in the last half of the battle, you're missing out on a ton of clash points that you could be getting. So you want to get it done as quickly as possible, right? So Farrakhan the Fat, easy shoe in for anyone who's just trying to progress it, trying to, get your comp up. This guy is an epic champion. You could bring him in there and he's going to do a ton of work for you. As far as replacement for Marius, like if you have not gotten the Marius missions done, yeah, people like Acrizia in here. Acrizia could work. She's just going to be killing herself constantly on the ram head. Nut or Newt, as people say. Excellent option because you do need decreased attack for some of the trials. You do need counter attack for some of the trials. You need weaken as well. His enemy max HP is pretty strong on the ram head. He also can out heal the damage, so he can stay alive during the ram head. Very strong there. His A1 is so. He's not going to be doing a ton of raw damage unless you just have an absolutely crazy build. So he's not going to do a significant amount of raw damage. Unlike Marius, who, if you do put in Slayer set, and I don't have mine in Slayer at the moment, mine is in, what is it called? Merciless at the moment. I would like to get him into 9 pieces of Slayer because then you can get extra raw damage, which will help you get some of those other trials done that require you to use raw damage versus enemy max HP. So, just another alternative champion that you could use in there. Obviously, I don't have Toshiro, but some of you might have Toshiro. Toshiro, without incredible stats, is not going to get you the damage that you need. I won't say he is a direct replacement to not having Marius or not having Harima or Alaz, because it's not easy to get the numbers that you're seeing other people get by just simply having him. You need to have a decent star blessing on him, 5 or 6 stars, preferably 6 stars. Even without the 6 stars, like, hard to get a ton of damage out of him, and you need to have him in something like Merciless. Yeah, pretty much you need to have him in Merciless. If you don't, you're missing out on a significant amount of damage that you could be getting, which is why I have my Marius in Merciless, because I've built this exact comp that I'm talking about, right? This same comp with Harima, Marius, Raka, Lydia. I built this comp like 5-6 times now on various accounts. The difference in damage is not that big, but it is noticeable, right? It's noticeable because the extra opportunities that I'm getting from cooldowns here make a difference. They make a big difference, especially at times when you need damage to get a trial done and you need to get his A2 back. Like, it actually makes a difference. So having Merciless on your Toshiro, if you are trying to figure out why your Toshiro is not doing that much, yeah, you're not getting cooldowns every time he does damage, so you're missing out on the bulk of the damage that a lot of people are getting with their Toshiros that are empowered and fully ascended and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna show you the gear that I'm running. This comp that pre-recording that I did was not actually on my account. I was working on someone's account earlier, so I was just like, let me record part of the run. I'll show you a screenshot of the last personal best I got with it on my account. So this is with my account hitting 174 million damage on Ultra Nightmare, getting 8 trials done as well, getting some solid clash points out of it. Would like to squeeze more out of it, but I haven't been able to get enough feral set for Gwendolyn. When I do that though, damage is gonna go up. And the main thing that made my damage just like shoot up, because it wasn't this strong, was the build that I swapped Lydia into. So initially doing Chimera, I had Lydia in 9-piece protection. It was great. We get protected buffs. The more protection you can have, the more, auto friendly it's going to be, especially when you get to Viper and he's trying to take all your buffs. But I swapped Lydia into Feral and it added about 30 mil damage onto my run, which was huge. So I'll show you the stats for the Lydia right now. 294 speed. She's got decent accuracy. We're going to have increased accuracy for the majority of the fight. She's got okay HP and defense. Not much damage here. And her crit damage is low because I use her as my target for a ram head. So she's the one that I have to revive just to make sure that no one else gets targeted, especially not my reviver. But this is the build in 9-piece Feral and is adding a ton of damage with that 9-piece bonus. 5% more damage for each debuff placed by the wearer. She's going to be placing decreased defense, weaken. She's also going to be placing poison sensitivity, block buffs, block active skills. So you're going to be getting a ton of extra damage here from having her in the Feral set, which is huge. It's actually huge. Moving on to Gwendolyn, because I was just talking about how I want to get her into a Feral set. I don't have the accessories. The accessories are not dropping. So hopefully after this siege, I'll be able to get the accessories for her. Actually, go back to Lydia because I know I didn't show masteries. People shouldn't need masteries, but it is important to note the relics I have on her, right? So I have golden elixir on her, which is going to give her a bit of a heal when she drops below 50%. More importantly, though, than the relic itself are the gemstones. I'm running this gemstone on every champion that I can for Chimera, all right? This gemstone in particular is extremely good because you want to be boosting as much turn meter as possible in Chimera. Invigorated, one of my favorite gemstones for Chimera. I'm not sure if there's a better version. I haven't looked at higher, rarities of something like this, but Invigorated. If you could put 2 on a champ, do it. They stack, all right? So you can get extra turn meter boost whenever you are boosting. And this is the reason I like Raka, but we'll get to that in a moment once we start to look at her. She has Cruelty Blessing on, and these are the masteries. Pretty standard. I'm pretty sure you already have your masteries squared away and you're not looking to change them right now. As far as Gwendolyn's build, though, she's just pretty fast, 290 speed, decent accuracy as well. You want to get your champs as fast as possible for Chimera because on Ultra Nightmare, the boss is running 305 speed. So if you're not right around there, your support, your turn meter booster, they definitely need to be faster than the boss. They need to be well over 305. I'm talking 320, 330, 350, right? I've seen accounts where the DPS have like 320, 330. Everybody's over 340. I've seen some crazy builds, but this is what we have on her. And oh man, I'm still trying to get over the fact that they swapped this here in total stats as first now. But yeah, decent speed, decent HP, so she's not like just getting destroyed, and decent accuracy to make sure that we can land our debuff. She is weak affinity for this rotation, which is not great, but yeah, works out. This is actually the relic I have on her. Don't have the gemstone. There we go. I just got another invigorator, so we're gonna put it on her now, just to make sure she's getting that turn meter boost. I ran out of them because I was putting them on everybody. As far as the blessing, she has Cruelty, and these are the masteries. I'm probably going to change this over to Giant Slayer, which I should have. So probably going to go this way and just go to Giant Slayer and swap this T6. Everything else probably going to stay the same though. But that's her build. It's pretty simple. She is in a curse set at the moment just because I do use her in Hydra as well. Also having this buff debuff kind of helps in Chimera, because on Ram form you have to get 7 debuffs up on Ultra Nightmare. I think there's another trial as well that requires a certain amount of debuffs, but it's helpful. It's definitely helpful. Next is going to be Raka. So we have Raka in 9-piece protection, of course. She has the Journal of Necrosis on, which is going to boost her turn meter and healing effects, and giving her the Invigorated Gemstone so we can get further turn meter boost. As far as total stats, she has 85k HP, 4k defense, 331 speed. The resist doesn't really matter at all. Don't really need it. As far as the blessing, we have Miracle Heal on her because she does place continuous heal deep buffs. So got Miracle Heal to boost that up. And here is actually the masteries, which I need to change. I have Fearsome Presence on her because, like, when Blessings first came out, I was running Polymorph on her, so trying to increase the chance to place Polymorph. But I need to go ahead and adjust these masteries. Most of this will stay the same. I'll probably come down and take Timely Intervention just to help the comp out some more. But pretty straightforward 9-piece protection build there. We have Marius, who, like I said before, is in 6 pieces of Merciless. As far as his total stats here, decent HP, 6.2k defense, so nothing too crazy because I don't have a high star blessing on him. 255 speed and 335 crit damage. I feel like if you have a higher blessing, you're definitely going to be able to achieve this. I do have the Cat's Gaze on him, and it is almost impossible to get these triangular gemstones. I've not gotten many. We'll go ahead and throw this one on them. But as you can see, Invigorated here again. And as far as the blessing, we got Soul Reap. And here are the masteries that I went with. Pretty much standard DPS masteries. Nothing special there. As far as Harima, lastly, she also has Cat's Gaze. Spoiler alert. Cat's Gaze with Invigorated in there. As far as the blessing, I do have Crushing Rend on her. She is in lethal with 7.8k defense, 275 speed, 367 crit damage. So pretty free to play build. As far as the masteries, these are the masteries I have on her. I ended up going with Deterrence just because the counterattacks on the Ram form, no, not Ram, Lion form, trying to get that counterattack without having like a Laz or actual counter in the comp is a bit difficult. So Deterrence helps out a bit. She does weak hit a ton on this rotation. So mind you, that personal best that I showed you was on this current rotation, even with weak affinity Gwendolyn and weak affinity Harima. So obviously on other rotations, this comp is going to do a lot better because they are actually very key to this comp, right? Harima's damage, Gwendolyn's debuffs, all very key. So on a more favorable rotation, this should easily hit 200 million Ultra Nightmare. But trying to get counterattacks, one with Deterrence there. You could also elect to do that on like Marius, but he's going to counterattack a good bit anyway. But Cat's Gaze on her as well. Got Invigorated on there, and these other triangle ones that should probably take this first one off. It doesn't help us here because it's actually going to decrease the damage that Marius does. So I'm actually going to take that off. But those are the champs and the builds and the comps, right? Gave you all some suggestions as well for other options that you can use. I know one of my clanmates is using Carnage in there for DPS, right? There's any number of people that you could bring in to be a DPS for you. I suggest going to DPS unless you have a comp with like Senna and what's his name? The other guy, not Alaz. Where is he? I think he's a Banner Lord, Mythical. Yes, Androck, boosting a lot of turn meter, right? So if you have one of those comps that allows you to get on like a 5-to-1 ridiculous ratio or something further than that, where you're taking like 5 to 10 turns per boss turn, at least, then You can run one DPS, but otherwise you're probably going to need two if you want to get some respectable damage. So I would definitely suggest one enemy max HP DPS and like your best raw DPS damage dealer. So that's pretty much it, guys. Feel free to ask any questions down below. I've been doing so much Chimera that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I am getting tired of it. But I have learned a ton in all of my experimenting and playing around with Chimera. So feel free to let me know down below how you guys are feeling about it. If you have any questions, definitely shoot them my way. You can also hit me up on Discord if you need help with Chimera. I've been doing Chimera takeovers, Hydra takeovers, all that stuff. I do takeovers. So if you are interested in getting some assistance, just hit me up on my Discord. There should be a link down below to that. But until next time, guys, thank you for watching. As always, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, be good and be well.